Alright! Welcome to the Explicable! Today, we are diving deep into the Ben Hogan PTX LS irons. We're going to break down everything: the design, the tech, the feel, and how it all comes together on the course. So, let's figure out if this is the club that could really change the game for you. You know, that's a pretty big question, and it's the huge promise behind the PTX. This club isn't just about hitting the ball. Not at all. It's built for controlling it with absolute precision. It is all about giving you the confidence to see a shot in your mind and then actually go out and hit it. So, how in the world does this iron deliver on a promise like that? Well, let's start with the very first thing you're going to notice. And that's just the way it looks and feels in your hands. Right? Because before you even swing, your confidence starts the moment you put the club behind the ball. And let me tell you, the PTXL is absolutely designed to inspire that feeling from the get-go. So, when you look down at the dress, this iron just speaks the language of a serious golfer. You've got that compact shape, that really thin top line, and a narrow sole. All things that scream workability and precision. It's just a super clean professional look. And that satin chrome finish, it's not just for show. It cuts down on glare and really helps you focus on the ball. But here's the thing. That classic look is backed up by an incredible classic feel. The club head is forged from soft carbon steel, and that's the magic ingredient right there. It's what gives you that smooth, solid sensation at impact. You get this instant, pure feedback that tells you exactly how you hit it. Look and feel are absolutely crucial, but they're really only half the story. So now, let us pop the hood and take a look at the modern engineering that is really powering this Iron S performance. Okay, so a huge piece of the tech puzzle here is something called perimeter weighting. Now, this isn't just some fancy marketing term. It's a really fundamental design choice. The engineers literally take weight from the middle of the club face and push it out to the edges. So why do they do that? Well, the payoff is pretty simple. It's all about stability. When you move that mass to the outside, the club head just doesn't want to twist as much, especially when you don't hit it dead center. And for you, the player, that means your shots fly straighter and they don't lose as much distance, even on your misses. It's basically forgiveness that's been engineered right into the club. So, perimeter weighting is one piece of the puzzle, right? The other is where you put that weight vertically. With the PTX LS, the center of gravity, you'll hear people call it the CG, is pushed really, really low and deep in the club head. And this is so critical for controlling how the ball launches. So, what does a low CG actually get you out on the course? Well, it makes it almost effortless to launch the ball high with a really powerful, stable flight. That means you get more control and, crucially, the ability to stop the ball on the greens. And that combination, that's what builds real consistency. Of course, you can't talk about an iron without talking about the engine, the shaft. And you've got some important choices here. Steel is all about stability and control. It gives you the most feedback. Graphite, on the other hand, is lighter, which can help you get a little more swing speed. Plus, it dampens vibrations. Honestly, the right choice really comes down to your swing and what you value most. All right, so we've torn apart the design and the tech. Now it's time to connect all those dots to what really matters. How does this thing actually perform when you're out there playing around? When you boil it all down, the performance really stands on these three legs. First, you get amazing shot control to shape the ball left and right. Then, you get super predictable, consistent distance because of that low center of gravity. And finally, you have that forgiveness safety net from the perimeter weighting. It's the whole package. And this chart really tells the story of the club's DNA. Yeah, forgiveness is in there. It's definitely part of the deal. But you can see the PTX LS is heavily weighted towards control and feel. This is an iron built for the player who wants to be the pilot. not just a passenger along for the ride. You know, you don't have to just take my word for it. The real-world feedback on these is incredible. Players who bagged the PTX LS are constantly talking about how outstanding the control is. They feel like they can aim at a specific spot and just trust the club to do its job, knowing that even their little misses are going to stay in play. So, we've deconstructed the tech and we've talked about the performance, but all of this leads to the most important question of all, right? Who is the Ben Hogan PT? Is it for you? This iron really hits a very specific sweet spot. Look, for beginners, there are probably more forgiving options out there. And sure, advanced players will love what this club can do. But the real bullseye here, it's that intermediate golfer. The player who is ready to trade a little bit of that game improvement, help for a huge upgrade in control, and feel, to put it simply, this club is for that low to mid handicap player who feels like they've hit a wall. You know who you are? You're striking the ball pretty well, but you want to add that next layer to your game? That finesse to shape shots, control your trajectory, and really start hunting for pins with confidence. Ultimately, the PTX L pulls off this fantastic trick. It's got the clean, classic look that a traditionalist golfer just loves to see. But it's packed with the modern data-driven performance that a serious competitor absolutely has to have. It's the best of both worlds. And that brings us right back to where we started. The Ben Hogan PTX LS offers this really compelling mix of feel, control, and just enough forgiveness. So the final question is for you. Is that the combination that's going to unlock the next level of your game?